Subscribe to One India channel and never miss an update.
My name is Svetlana Tulasi. I'm half Indian, half Russian, born and brought up in Moscow. I've been doing dance since I was a kid, and my Guruji's name is Ekaterina Yurievna Siliverstova. She's Russian, but she studied in India. She graduated from Kathak Kendra University in Delhi, and she started her dance school back in the early 2000s, and I've been her student since then. I started dancing when I was about 9 or 10 years old. It feels like an eternity ago. It's been almost a 20-year journey for me now. And I started off just as a kid who was forced by her parents to go ahead and learn something about Indian culture, because growing up, I was only exposed to Russian culture and the mainstream Western culture, but not Indian. And so that was the first kind of big introduction for me to the classical Indian arts. And at that time I didn't really connect to it, because I thought, what is this? This is so foreign, this is so new, this is so different than everything I knew. But eventually I kind of fell in love with it, and thanks to my Guruji, thanks to the persistence of my parents who insisted that I should be doing this, maybe they saw something that I didn't at that time, and I think they were right. I've started with Kathak. I've tried Kuchipudi for a little while, simply because my dad was Telugu, so he was from Andhra Pradesh, and that's where Kuchipudi kind of comes from. So I tried that, but then I couldn't really connect to it as much as I did with Kathak. And I went back to Kathak training, so I've been only doing that for many, many years now. I've tried other dance forms, just a little bit here and there, a little bit of flamenco, a little bit of Latin ballroom dance, Latin social dance, but nothing really quite stuck to me. Kathak is the main thing for me. Russia's Got Talent was one of the recent breakthroughs that I had. Not the first one, but one of the major ones, because that was the first time I performed with a partner at a big TV show, a male dance partner at a big TV show. And I'm really grateful for that performance, because what it did is, even though we were not selected for the next round, but I'm still incredibly grateful to the producers, because the video they made for us, the way they shot it, the way they showed this performance, the judges' reactions, the audience's reactions, it was so heartwarming, and it made a huge impact on my career since it came out. And even though I understand Hindi, it's not even the language barrier, it's the mentality barrier that always, it's always hard for me to manage, because India is to me, it feels like a whole different planet sometimes. I guess the love for the arts is something that unites us, and that's what helps us work together. That's what helps us bring more performances and more workshops and more just interaction between the two cultures together. Because most of the people that come to my class, and I do have a lot of international students from all over the place, from Russia, China, Australia, to African countries and Northern Europe and South America, everywhere really. People that come to class, they usually are already in love with Indian classical arts. They've seen it in movies, they've seen it maybe in theater or some videos on YouTube of different concerts and festivals. So they come to the class with the passion and the love for the art form, and then they see me as someone who can teach it with a Western approach. I feel like bringing newness to this particular dance form is important, because one of the reasons Kathak has existed for so long is because it's been adapting to the changing times. From century to century, whatever was happening in India, Kathak was adopting. It was a Hindu-dominant dance form, then it was a Muslim-dominant dance form, then it was under the British rule, then it was became a theater performance, then it became from solo into a group act. Now it's on TV screen or phone camera art, performing art. So it's evolving, and I feel like it's important, because if it stops evolving, people don't feel like it's relevant anymore. People want to move on. And my approach is definitely not traditional conservative. My approach is, I don't fuse it with Western dance styles, but I do fuse it with a Western approach to teaching dance, because Western approach to teaching dance is very systemized, organized, it's very structured, it's very detailed. So you don't expect your student to just figure it out themselves. You explain every single thing that is there to explain. How exactly every part of your bone move when, like, inside your hand, how it all moves and how it all goes. What is the moving, like, force in your body. The way I approach Kathak is exactly that. I want to make it approachable, especially to the younger generation, people who are even younger than me, to be like, oh, okay, it's not some old traditional dance form. It's actually cool. It's actually interesting. There's depth to it. There is layers. There is a story. There's emotion. There's so many things.